All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to the 2021 DKR Time Trials Tournament. We have Group A action, what I believe is one of the final races, if not the final race of group stages. Um, I'm stepping in for commentary. I'm Dr. Fish, and alongside me will be Dupe. Hello, sir. All right. All good. We've got AL Car as our first track, and this is going to be interesting. Both players are pretty good at this track, it looks like. Both players holding better than a 40, holding either a 41 or a 42. Um, so even though the PBs are pretty far apart, I can't give an advantage either way right now. We'll have to see how their attempts play out. This track is very, very fickle. You can it's not very difficult, but if you could be consistent for 3 attempts and get your inputs in correctly, you should you have a very good chance at winning this track. Cool. So we'll just wait for both players to start their attempts.
Yeah, just need the streams to catch up.
Yes. All right. They're very close in timer, so that's very nice.
Yeah, we'll be able to keep up for this first attempt.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, not a huge time difference between their PBs, but kind of a big rank difference.
Yeah, it's very crowded on Ancient. Like, we see MrPonytale dropping the zipper there, which allows Tarzan to have a better lap. They're pretty much neck and neck heading into this last section. But MrPonytale got a better zipper, so he should finish first here with a 42 5x, 42.55. Nice.
Beating Tarzan's PB.
Yeah. So Tarzan has a 43.65. Beating someone's PB is quite... this means that Tarzan has to have one heck of an attempt to here. I guess we're gonna see might see ghostless out of both players. Or he went back, he did quit. I didn't see if he actually did anything with ghostless. I think he might have all of his ghosts. No, he did manage to delete the one ghost. MrPonytale is going to do ghostless. He will be removing the staff ghost, but able to remain as TT. Meanwhile, Tarzan into his second attempt. I did forget to intro the players. We have MrPonytale, car specialist, and just a fantastic player. And we have Tarzan, who is definitely turned into a pretty overall solid runner on every vehicle. From what I've seen.
Yeah, yeah. That's what me and Giz were saying in the last match, that Tarzan's super well-rounded. Just does well on every vehicle and like knows a lot of the tracks, so maybe you'll have some interesting picks for MrPonytale.
Yeah, we did see the band come in. Let's see, time is 45.60. For Tarzan, MrPonytale gonna finish up his second attempt here shortly. Very nice. Little S-bend section there. I guess it's an S-bend, kind of. Middle section of the track is quite difficult to do accurately in a 41.70. So a very, very strong attempt. The band track is Windmill Plains, which could be not necessarily a ban against a car track that MrPonytale played, but perhaps maybe like a plane or a hover track that MrPonytale likes is Windmill Plains. So you want to kind of give yourself more of an advantage in these other vehicles.
Right. Just keep the tracks you like open more so.
Yeah, in this case, because these players are fighting for better seating in the lower bracket, because both Ben and Joey have advanced into the upper bracket, like, officially. So, Tarzan, with winning this match, would be able to have a higher seating in the lower bracket. And obviously, same for MrPonytale if he takes this match.
He'll get the higher
it looks
seed.
like it looks like he's just gonna finish out his attempts here. Getting a 42 and a 43 is quite good. But when someone's gonna put up a 41, one of the best AL car times of the entire tournament, then it's definitely going to be in Mr. Ponytail's favor on that track. That was a very good pick. Very good first car pick. That's almost a PB. Holy cow. 41-31. Yeah. So Tarzan has next pick. Mr. Ponytail with the AL car pick. A very nice starting pick. Tarzan's... I wish I knew. I'm going to pull up KR64 and just kind of browse over these players' matchup and see kind of how things play out.
That's a really cool tool we have on the website that we can just pull up a matchup, like a direct head-to-head, and see which tracks do I really have an advantage at all versus this person.
Yes. So, because I want to kind of see how these picks play out. This first pick is Fossil Canyon Hover, so a very good pick. Denying FC Hover, or denying Fossil Canyon Car from Mr. Ponytail. And this is a track that Tarzan has a little PB advantage. So we'll see. We have a 112 for Mr. Ponytail and a 109 for Tarzan. So we'll see how this plays out. This is a very... I really like this track as a hover track. Quite... It's got just enough challenge to it. Where you really have to know kind of how to hit these zippers, especially that zipper on lap 1. Neither player managing to get a lagless. So we didn't get to see like any super flying on lap 1, but laps 2 and 3 it'll be more likely to get that. Mr. Ponytail I think missed the zipper in the cave, and Tarzan, when he did that, he kind of flew into the side. He hit the left side and flew all the way out to the right. All right, good job by Tarzan to catch both of them. Oh man, Mr. Ponytail catching the lip really bad. Oh, that time, actually, Tarzan missing it. So these players are chalk. These players we're dead even, and they're pretty close. They're within a second, I think, of each other for their paces right now. So we'll see how this final one plays out. Both players using their snaking well. Oh gosh, harsh bonks.
Yeah, it's probably gonna put Ponytail a little behind, right? Considering how close they were.
Yes, he'll be slightly behind heading into 10th. Oh wow, that was extremely harsh. It's gonna be close now. It's actually within a second. Yeah, 115.40 versus 115.01.
Interesting. Right up until the very end, just a lot of twists. Very interesting track. One of the dangerous things about hover, you're just snaking so hard left and right that you can just run into things sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting because this track doesn't really have any times when you want to be bonking off of something. You generally just want to, like, besides obviously the ground, but even then, like, you don't want to be flying up in the air after that. You want to get enough speed to be able to kind of just keep your hovercraft in the air long enough to actually just kind of end up on the top of the bank where you don't get thrown up in the air. So let's see how these players' first laps play out. That was looking really good, and I think it's still a faster first lap for Tarzan here. It's just that these players started their attempts at different times, so be keeping an eye on the lap counter to see how far along each player is. Oh gosh. So both players having a bit of difficulty with that section there, going into the cave. That can be an issue in hover. Tarzan was extremely close to just being able to skip the bank completely. Just barely caught the edge of it. Right. See, this could be a possible PB here for... No, it's going to be slightly more than a 112. I think this is going to be Tarzan taking some advantage here with a 111.76, which will force Mr. Ponytail to PB in order to win this track.
Yeah, laying the pressure on.
Yeah. I think Hover is quite a contested vehicle between these two players. the advantage really comes in playing for Tarzan.
Yeah, and obviously Mr.
While
Ponytail has the insane card, so
yeah, his card times are all better than Duke besides Spaceport Alpha Shortcut, which I don't think Mr. Ponytail has done. So, but we can't do shortcuts, so it doesn't matter.
yeah, it's a non-shortcut tournament.
Yeah, this is fully non-shortcut. So a rough entrance again into the cave, into that cave. Yeah. Ooh, barely caught the zipper. We'll have enough to just get across. Yeah, getting a lagless zipper there is quite difficult in hover. So a little bit more. I don't understand it quite as well as they understand how to do it in car. I'm just inconsistent at it in general, though. So 25 for both players on their first lap. So a decent start here, using the... Oh, it looks like Tarzan missed the zipper. Mr. Ponytail's looking like he could easily get a nice time here and get a 111. Or even a 110. Oh, missing the boost, but should probably still have enough if he doesn't make any more mistakes to actually take the track here with a really good time. He's gonna get a 111. Oh, it's almost a... I don't know if that's better than what Tarzan got.
It's a tie,
I don't
actually.
think it is.
They
both got... So, so they're gonna have to... So they both got a 111.76?
They both got a 111.76, yep.
Oh.
Do you know what the rules say in this situation? We might have to consult the rule book.
Oh, sure. I can look that up. It is indeed in the rule page how it goes. I'm guessing it's a one try. Is my guess. I can consult.
I think it's worth taking the time to double check it, yeah.
Where's there's a rule page. Here it is. Doc. Checking the doc now. Yeah, this is the first time we've had a tie. I don't know if there's a specific rule about it. Yeah, there really isn't actually laid out a specific rule.
Strange position because we're restreaming and commentating, but we're not exactly tournament organizers, so I can't make like a definitive call here.
Because Sweener also is a tournament admin for this, so... Yeah, this is something that we just never... That, like...
Yeah, this game counts down to the millisecond, right? So it's so unlikely that the player will tie.
Yeah, it's not super likely that it's tie. So we're just gonna wait for a ruling from one of the tournament admins. Because I'm pretty... like, Obai was like the main admin, but I also... So we'll just see how this is ruled. I mean, I guess technically because we can't technically move on because we don't know because we don't know who would have because we don't really know who would have pick, and pick matters a lot. I mean, if it's better average, then it would go to Tarzan, but average does not matter. It matters, it matters what the best specific time is. I don't want to be like we should just one try this, but I'm guessing that's actually what the rule is. It's just not written.
Yeah, I mean, at some point we're gonna have to proceed with the match. We can't just sit here and hope.
Ooh. Yeah, this stinks.
You're saying you look through the whole document and for sure it's not in there?
I looked through the time trials thing, and it just says all attempts are non-shortcut. Must do 3 tries. Best time wins the point. Any shortcut nullifies every attempt, and the other person wins. If you restart, your attempt is void. You have to be on the restart menu. Same time on the first attempt, 9 track. Then it just goes right to in the first 9 track. Have to play through car, through playing through hover, which is actually a good rule to mention. Yeah, vehicles. So I think we're gonna do it. It seems like we're probably gonna do a 1 try until somebody beats the attempt. So we're gonna have, we might, yeah. So we're gonna play it where the person who beats whoever beats the 1:11:76 first will get the time. I don't think, I hope. Yeah, we should take a countdown. Cool. So, looks like we get some more fossil canyon hover.
Just when you thought it was over.
That looks like plane. Oh no, Tarzan's in the wrong vehicle, but that doesn't matter. We won't worry about the sync. It won't really necessarily matter. Let's see who gets the better.
Yeah, they're both just going until they can beat the time.
Yeah, pretty much. Hopefully this doesn't take obviously too long, but this is the best way to settle it, in my opinion. It could just be a straight up 1v, like a straight up whoever gets the best time, even in another 3 attempts. But I think beating the time that's put up is definitely a better idea. Oh wow, MrPonytale had a really good first lap, but he just made a very big, I wouldn't say necessarily a mistake, but he got thrown up into the wall, which is unfortunate.
It's hard to account for that much
Meanwhile, speed. Yeah, so usually when you do that, you want to try and hold back on your vehicle because you'll be able to keep yourself up in the air, so you'll get a softer landing. But yeah, I don't think that it's gonna get beat here. The 1:11 by Tarzan and by MrPonytale, I should say. But it looks like Tarzan had a decent attempt until that one. So yeah, we're gonna have another attempt here from the players. This track can be very punishing. Like I thought it was a good attempt out of Tarzan, and MrPonytale. I think they were both pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, just to note, if someone there's no resets. This is like just doing a bunch of no resets essentially. Yeah, so what's gonna happen is these players are gonna go for it, and so essentially, if the one player gets it but has more attempts, the other player will get to do attempts until they're also.
Oh, according to OBO, it is a 1 try.
Bios does 1 try. Who won that last attempt then? Okay, so we're gonna do. So we've been clarified on the rules. We do one more. We're gonna have a final race. Sorry everybody for the confusion. It's tough. We now we know the ruling. If it's a tie, it's just a 1 try attempt. And so we're gonna go from there. We have gotten a tournament admin's ruling. Awesome. I mean, I like this track a lot. I don't know about anybody else. It's
I think it's one of the funner hover tracks for sure.
It's like the only it's like one of the only tracks where I don't like the default vehicle, but I like the other two vehicles more. Just at least more. I'm not good at fossil.
I'm not a huge
This
fan
is like
of
a good
plane.
first lap here. Gotcha. I'm fine with FC Plane. Right now, Ponytale has a pretty nice sizable lead. As long as he doesn't really like get flown into the wall or anything. Yeah. Now if now Tarzan is able to kind of get closer and catch up. He's not completely caught up, but a lagless zipper will allow him to almost catch up. Yeah, rough movement from MrPonytale has caught this up almost completely there. Not that far behind. Really just has to have a solid section here. Yeah. Missing the zipper for Tarzan should do it. MrPonytale should take the point. Pending that he doesn't have a very unfortunate ending. So yeah, there you go. MrPonytale takes point 2 in a very, very long. So yeah, MrPonytale coming out with a new PB at a 1:11.76, and coming away with the point. So Tarzan has pick. So I'm gonna guess that there will be probably another hover pick here. Maybe it could be a plane as well. I think, yeah, Tarzan needs to. Oh, picking Hot Top Volcano Hover. Okay. I mean, it's a good. It's definitely a pretty good pick here. But this is a hover track where MrPonytale has the very, very ever slight edge. But maybe Tarzan has been practicing here. Oh, he probably has been looking at that time. He has a 122 on his screen, but he has a 124 submitted. So it might not be as close of a PB as we see. All right, both players making their way through the lava.
Looks like Pony took a bit of a bonk there and lost his speed, so Tarzan's going to take the lead on lap 1.
Yeah. So, oh, great. Okay, I was going to say, what, in that position where MrPonytale is, he really has to just hit the hop there. Otherwise, it's unfortunate. All right, so.
Oh, one thing I want to note, this has probably been one of the most popular tracks in the tournament. We've seen this in most matches, I think.
Yeah, oh my gosh, he just stayed on the ledge. Tarzan coming in with a bit more MrPonytale coming in with a bit more momentum into this section. He's still trying to grab some balloons there, which he still gets a faster lap, but I think that might have prevented him from getting a a slightly better lap. The general way that I play this track is I go for bananas on lap 1, and unless I'm really deficient, I won't worry about bananas on the next lap. We're gonna get a ending. Oh gosh, that makes it a bit closer, but advantage does go to Tarzan. 127.56 versus 127.93. This is one of those hover tracks where you can keep your ghost, technically, because you don't use any zippers unless you actually go for that last zipper. I think it's not very advisable to do the plane zipper there unless you know how to get it very well, because it can lose a lot of time if you get thrown the wrong way.
Yeah, it seems like keeping your speed all the way up the hill is just difficult. Haven't really seen it much in the tournament at all.
Yeah, oh, it's so harsh. That happened to me against Asbo. What happened to Ponytail there? He got caught on the wall. There's like, it's hard to tell, but because it's a section where like the upper section meets the wall, you can kind of just get wedged in there, and it's very difficult to get out easily. Both players struggling to hop up onto the ledge there. It's not super necessary, but it's good if you get that. Both players are going to be able to get their extra bananas here, and both end up at 7. I wonder if they're gonna hop for bananas or just go through. Yeah, it looks like both players are just gonna keep moving through, and that's gonna create good laps for the players. 28-26 for Tarzan and a 29-15 for MrPonytale. He did grab the ledge there, but unfortunately, he kind of also caught the edge of the wall. All right, so this looks to be a pretty decent attempt here. I think this is like I think this is gonna be a 124 or 125 perhaps. Yeah, 125. So taking a nice lead. Tarzan with the 125.55, taking advantage into the final track. Let's see. It doesn't force a PB. So MrPonytale, I mean, this track is really interesting. Like, sometimes you can just pop off a really nice attempt. And yeah, I should say that going up that hill in the middle is a bit difficult to hold speed. If the lava doesn't like you, it's similar to the second one where you'll just kind of bonk.
Yeah, it's a pretty weird slope there.
Yeah. I kind of like that Tarzan's ignoring going up on the ledge, and he's just kind of falling into the lava there. It doesn't really lose a lot of time, especially if your opponent is failing it.
Yeah, and
there's a bit.
I was gonna say, if you commit to just taking the lower route, right, you'll save time compared to missing it for sure.
Yes, and big banana difference. You can see the difference in laps based on the bananas. It's 29 versus 31. So I don't think that I do think that MrPonytale probably would want to try for. Oh man, a bonk from Tarzan, and it's a bit of an equalizer. MrPonytale not having as much bananas is going to be tough, and going for the zipper, but kind of getting caught and not getting very far. He's quite a lot behind now. Yeah, there's quite a large advantage. I don't see Tarzan losing this point unless he was to get caught in that wall for a very, very long time. It looks like he should just be able to finish this out here. Doesn't have to go for the zipper. Can just go ahead and get his 124. And that will do it. As there is no mathematical way that Ponytail can beat that time. Finishes sliding around backwards. So here we go, MrPonytale with the pick. Let's see where he chooses to go. There's quite a lot of really fun card tracks that he could pick, including his specialty of Late Haunted Woods. It might be a trickier pick to pull off in a race, in a one try, in like a 3-try environment. But yeah, so he's gonna pick Jungle Falls R, which is a bit more which I would say is a bit more consistent than Haunted Woods. All right.
Yeah, it's kind of rough for Tarzan in this position because like Ponytail has more than a few tracks where he has either a top 3 time or straight out world record, so it's hard. You know, you can't really ban it all.
Yeah, I think one of the things that might be end up being pretty rough in this in this specific match is that Tarzan is that a Ponytail 1 fossil hover. I think in order for I think that could be a determining factor potentially. We do see a bonk from both players. I was gonna say if Tarzan didn't bonk there, he could get out to a pretty good lead on this track. Oh no, he bonked into the fossil head. The only way to get out of that is by backing up, is by actually putting your vehicle in reverse.
Yeah, it's one of the most
So
painful bonks in car for sure.
yeah, like in time trials, it's like you just reset, but in RTA, it's so brutal.
Hmm.
42-16 versus 48-96. So this track could go either way, honestly, at this point. It looks like both players kind of had semi-rough attempts. So, oh no. So, let's see how the rest of this stuff goes. Yeah, as long as yeah, MrPonytale doesn't have access to Ghostless anymore, but that doesn't mean he can't remove his own ghost. If he just backs out to the menu outside the tracks and then goes back into tracks, he'll remove his ghost heading into he'll remove his own ghost.
Yeah, he can't get rid of the developer ghost, but he can't get rid of his own.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like for him, he can remove the dev ghost, but he can't remove he overwrote his he kind of overwrote his own ghost. So I think here he should be able to fix it. He's gonna get a 41. And it looks like a 42-13 from Tarzan, so they're not far apart now in attempts. If MrPonytale has a rough one here, Tarzan can definitely get a time. He's got a 39, so capable of getting 40s.
Yeah, more than capable for sure.
Yeah, and MrPonytale's gonna be playing with quite a bit of lag here. He kind of has the advantage of having a really, like, maybe not getting super messed up, but he's gonna have potential to get messed up by the staff ghost later. But it seems like he's gotten a better attempt down than his there. But there's a bonk into the wall. That was just poor. That was just honestly unfortunate poor positioning after the when he hit the thing just like Tarzan just did. They were a little too far to the left and they hit the lip and it sent them sideways. So yeah, and even then the 41's gonna stand. So I think Ponytail barely squeaks this one out. Yeah. See a little bit of drifting from Tarzan. Gonna finish out his last attempt. So Ponytail's got a 3-1 lead heading into 5.
Yeah, and all of Dino Domain has been played, so no more Dino tracks.
no more Dino. So we'll have to be seeing another world here. If I'm Tarzan and I feel confident on Haunted Woods Hover, I pick Haunted Woods Hover here. He's like, they both have similar time, so it is a slightly risky pick, but it removes the Haunted Woods car pick. Tarzan might also feel more comfortable in some of these default hover picks, honestly. Like, he's hovering on Pirate Lagoon, and he's actually going to pick Everfrost Peak Plain. I quite like this pick. EP Plain is but it can be a risky pick, and both players are pretty close in their PBs here. I'm looking at it, 112 versus 110. So Ponytail has some experience here on this specific track. So we'll see. Both players gonna hop in TT and go over to EP and fly away. Unfortunately, there's a couple of matches where EP Hover just hasn't been picked over EP Plane. I think one time EP Car I think a couple of times EP Car has been picked too.
Yeah, I agree. Even though this track is really fun in like pretty much any vehicle, it's definitely funner in hover and car. It's just so punishing in plane. It feels really bad if you make a mistake.
Yeah, Both players doing a pretty good job for their first laps. No major bonks. Definitely some safer, slower sections, but um. Oh wow, that was a risky barrel roll from Tarzan. He definitely almost barrel rolled straight into. He almost barrel rolled straight into like the bridge section, or by the bananas. But now he has touched the ground and has to kind of catch his time up, and which is gonna allow. Wow, with a harsh bonk, Ponytail's gonna take quite a lead here on the first attempt. But with a solid set of boosts here, it can easily go right back to Tarzan. Oh gosh, he barely avoided the tree. Does manage to get that ground zipper and get both of the zippers. Gonna kind of take it a bit wider. All right. Yeah, this Ponytail having a cleaner second half of that lap allows him to actually take the first track. He had a much cleaner ending.
Not far apart at all, though.
No, they are less than the second apart, so this can go either way.
Yeah, both players have to be hoping for a better attempt, but we'll see if they're able to pull it off, man. This track is just so punishing.
Yeah, I think like the one thing that kind of can be tricky, especially on the first lap, is a section that we just saw Ponytail go through, which is kind of where those bananas are. We see Tarzan flying really low to the ground. He has 2 bananas. Generally you want to get a few more bananas on the first lap. But both players having a decent first lap for themselves, a 25 versus a 24. So a slightly better lap here for Tarzan. Oh, Mr. Ponytail just barely missing that zipper. He definitely barely missed. He was a little bit too far ahead, I'm gonna guess, because he kind of just bounced in front of it. He does have a banana advantage. He got a 29 second lap. Ooh, he did grab that zipper. So this looks like it could be pretty good. The final lap, anyways. The overall time gonna be leaving some to be desired. A 23 lap. Oh no. Tarzan touching the ground is gonna stop him. Wow. He missed that other ground zipper, but he's gonna get a 118. So that's very close.
Yeah, somehow managed to stay super close despite having huge mistakes on these tracks.
Yeah, so he is only 3/10 apart. They are a few frames. That massive bonk there could be a factor. Where Tarzan's gonna have, or where Mr. Ponytail's gonna need a very nice last couple of laps to in fact give it's gonna take a bad attempt from Tarzan and a godlike in a potential good time to close out to make sure that he solidifies his time. But I think there was a bonk already from Tarzan, unfortunately. He's gonna need very good laps here to get a time better than the 118 potentially. Meanwhile, it looks like Mr. Ponytail's having some good laps here. He has 5 bananas. The fact that they're going down for those bananas every lap I'm not so sure. I mean, it's a good strat to get the bananas, but we saw a big bonk there, and that doesn't necessarily come down to the prior section. That's just some unfortunate angles and not really feeling comfortable getting that barrel roll in. But both these players going down below is very interesting. I was more expecting the players to go over that bridge once you go past the first lap. I think with a good finish here, it looks like it's going to be solidified for Mr. Ponytail. Tarzan barely unable to beat that time. So point goes to Mr. Ponytail, I believe. We can just check that. Yeah, the 118.23 stood as best time. All right, Tarzan picks Treasure Caves Plain. I really like this pick. It's a very, it's still it's still one of those tracks that creates a lot of bonks. That's the thing as well. It's quite tricky, but we're gonna see Drumstick come out for Tarzan and for MrPonytale. So both players going on the best character. All right.
Does look like Tarzan has the stronger PB here.
Yes, he does. He has about a 5-second advantage, which doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot on this track.
Yeah.
Because of how bumpy it is, but if he plays solidly, then he should. Yeah, and that's a major bonk mistake. It's quite difficult, but able to get a nice zipper connection there for Ponytail. So looking at a potential very strong section here. Oh no, he also makes a bonk mistake there, which kind of puts us all up at even. Except, wow, the harshness of this track is never to be underestimated. And because and they're gonna end up super close because the mistakes from both players ended up kind of evening out. I do think that Tarzan has a better first attempt, 56 versus 57, but plenty of room for both players to smooth out their attempts. We saw bonks in the first section of a lap for both players, including a bonk at the end, or including a bonk on the end of the second lap for both players at the same spot, essentially. But yeah, I do respect both players going for Drumstick here, as Drumstick's the best character on this track. Oh no, harsh bonk there.
Yeah, it's always rough when you start off your attempt, first lap, and then you've already just made a huge mistake.
It definitely is. It's recoverable because there is also a chance that your opponent doesn't have a great attempt either.
Right.
So yeah, both players definitely taking the best route here. Doing a good job. There is a chance here that it's a PB from MrPonytale to get a sub 50.
Oh.
Oh, it's close. We'll have to see how the numbers play out.
Ties
50-06. Oh, he ties it. So that's really good for him. And I don't think that Tarzan's not going to tie it not going to get there on this attempt. He has one more. So as it stands, tying his PB on that track, very close to the sub 50, and sub 50 is definitely definitely within the grasp of Ponytale, but it's gonna take one super solid attempt from Tarzan here to kind of put that away though and take the point. Oh, getting that really nice ending. That's super fast. 17 first lap is so fast. But he unfortunately misses the zipper then bonks. So that is gonna really hinder this attempt's time. I would go as far as to say he can't actually beat his last time now. So it's just gonna come down to if Tarzan can beat it. And I think as long as Tarzan just kind of plays decently safe, it doesn't go for anything crazy here, he should be able to get a. Oh no,
Yes.
He backflips into the wall. Fortunately, it wasn't too harsh, but I think it's going to be super tough to get a sub 50 here. Yeah, so with that 50-06, Ponytale takes the point. So he's just 2 points away from winning the match, but there's still quite a lot to be played. Tarzan can definitely get some good picks here. I didn't mind the pick. It is a very risky pick as well, in general. So it's kind of one of those picks that you have to feel really good that you can um, have decently consistent stuff. And one pick of each vehicle left. And the only world that's gone is Dino. So we still have all of Dragon Forest, all of Future Funland, and three tracks each from Snowflake Mountain and Sherbet. I like how Tarzan really is considering his picks and making sure that he makes the right one to give him his best chance. With the Windmill Plains ban, there's no Windmill Plains plane pick up here for Tarzan. So we're gonna take Star City Plain, another a vehicle, a track that is quite difficult, and quite inconsistent. Again, but there is a much larger gap in PBs here. There is about a 15-second gap where Tarzan has a top 15 time on this track, which is very, very good. And Mr. Ponytail has a 137. That could just be because he hasn't played it. So yeah, both players. This track is generally done in TT, so both players are going to swap back over to him. All right. Oh man. Harsh first, not a harsh section, but just kind of seems like Tarzan was just a little bit struggling to control his plane there in the beginning of the lap.
Yeah, it doesn't seem super comfortable on this track right now. Maybe he needs to warm up on it a little.
Yeah, generally I think that people's first attempts on the track tend to be kind of a warm up on the track in general. But it looks like the tempo was going pretty well for Mr. Ponytail. He didn't bonk there, but it wasn't a harsh enough bonk to really give a lead because he was still able to get to through the section. He was able to land on it. Wow, harsh. Took it a little too tight there, and unfortunately bonking around. Ponytail kind of taking things as well as kind of a bit safely, but he does unfortunately get a little too close to the ceiling and bonk in that section. But his first attempt, I believe, will end up better than Tarzan's. There's a lot of room for improvement for both players. A 134 is a new 3-lap for Mr. Ponytail. Getting a chonky 3-second PB, just getting a solid attempt under his belt. I can say that I can kind of see like the first because and it might be that Mr. Ponytail might be a bit frustrated, or that Tarzan might be a bit frustrated after that TC plane, and I completely understand where that's coming from. But I definitely expect him to be able to pick it up because he's an outstanding player. That first Star City plane attempt obviously being rough, it's just feels like compounding mistakes, unfortunately. But he has a nice lap here, a 31. He gets the earlier barrel roll, plays it pretty safe. I like that. Gets the zipper. I think in general, just playing this pretty safely. He should be able to get a very nice attempt for himself. Not like too safe, but just assessing risk and reward of barrel rolls in certain sections. Like, I saw him kind of holding a bit much, but you can see there gets the height. understands that the barrel roll is not very safe there and just opts to go through it, that section. So we'll see how he takes this. Takes it pretty well. I think he's going to get a very nice time here. He's going to get a sub 130. Sure. There you go. 128. MrPonytale had a bit of a struggle attempt, and he got got a 29 lap, which isn't great. That's a new flap, sub 30. 134, 68. I shouldn't say it was a struggle attempt. I actually think that was probably a very good attempt for him. I didn't get to watch it all so much, but we'll watch it. I'll focus more on it here. Oh no! Right, so a 35 first lap for Tarzan. He did backflip in the start of the lap, so for sure, pretty decent lap despite that. 34 lap for MrPonytale, so he's gonna really have to get some. He was really gonna need some significant laps to be able to pass the 120, to pass the time that Tarzan got on his second attempt. A 28 lap. Just gonna kind of cruise through this one. It's very nice barrel rolling. He's being safe and not barrel rolling into the into I guess the Epcot ball. People want to call it that, but the upper tunnel area. So I can see the confidence picking up in Tarzan on this one. Ponytail unfortunately having a struggle on the second lap. He's gonna finish off strong here. Very, very nice. See how this last lap goes through the city section. Oh no, a little too tight on that turn, and he hits the wall. He doesn't fall all the way to the ground, at least. That barrel roll, not sure if that was an intentional barrel roll or not. Just a very harsh attempt overall. But it will be enough to take the point for Tarzan. So we'll get our next track. It'll be 5-2 currently. MrPonytale gets to take a car or a hover pick. My guess is we'll see a car pick. It would be interesting to pick hover and to kind of force Tarzan into a hover pick, into a car pick at the end. I wonder if that's the attempt, if that's what he's going to take here. I wouldn't be surprised if Ponytail went for like, yeah, a hover pick that he likes. And feels confident that he can put up a good time on. He picks Frosty Village Hover. So yeah, let's see how this plays out. If it's interesting because if Tarzan gets the point, then Ponytail just picks a car track. But if Ponytail gets the point, then Tarzan is forced to pick car. So I like this. There's not much harm in picking hover here for Ponytail.
Yeah, worse things go like how he expected, right? He loses the hover track and then still has a good shot at winning car.
Exact.
Yeah, I think that's something we're going to see a lot more as people like start to get used to the format and like get further into the bracket. They're going to try to snipe picks from each other more than pick things that are just comfortable to them.
Yes. That's definitely something that needs to be kind of pointed out. Is that some of these picks are made. Like there are definitely some picks that are made as counters to make sure to deny a vehicle from somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So like looking at the Windmill Plains ban, I think it was good because I still think that Ponytail could have just picked Windmill Plains car. I'm not sure if he's been playing that recently. He's barely missing. He's actually barely missing those triples 2 times in a row. Barely missed a triple. And Tarzan's just kind of struggling. I'm wondering why both players have gone on the inside route. I can see that Tarzan missed the zipper, so definitely going that way is a bit better there. But in general, you want to just kind of stay out of the water there because there's no zipper. But you want to be going and grabbing the zipper at the edge. So both players, see how these attempts finish out. I think looks like Mr. Ponytail will have the advantage heading out of the first attempt on a 126, which is a new PB, and is also better than Tarzan's website PB. So let's see.
A very solid coming out of Mr. Ponytail there.
Mm-hmm.
Making good use of his lower pick.
Yeah, I mean, if he's been practicing, it's definitely a good pick. Like I think regardless, as long as there's been practice done, it's definitely gonna play out well. All right, so we see both players ignoring the slope. Ignoring you can get a couple extra zippers if you cut the boost short and just grab the 2 bananas in the middle of the slope. So yeah.
3 extra bananas for Ponytail.
Yeah. The one thing I think that gives Ponytail the advantage is the routing. He seems to be understanding the route with the zippers a little bit more. I haven't seen Tarzan going for the outer way of grabbing things instead of opting kind of to play it like you do in Frosty Village Plain. But you go through there in Frosty Village Plain because there's a zipper. Since there's no hovers, since like the hover/plane zipper that plays in that section is there only in play, not in hover. Getting the zipper there is quite good. He is having a pretty nice attempt, and it looks like he might be able to get a better attempt here. It'll be very close depending on these last zippers. So they both got a similar time, 129s for both. So Ponytail's 126 stands as best time. Tarzan will have to beat that in order to take this track. But I can see he's just kind of restarting and not really getting rid of the ghost. Because if you get rid of the ghost on this track, there is no ghost at all. So you have much better chances with zippers. These zippers are definitely going to be probably a bit laggier with the ghost on the screen. Much better start to this time than as opposed to the last attempt. And he got the zipper there. Ponytail is gonna finish with what looks like a 31-ish or a 32 lap. A little bit of a bonk. Right. So it looks like a good lap here. It is possible with a really nice third lap here that the Tarzan will snipe this time. It just depends on how good the rest of this attempt from Mr. Ponytail goes. If he can put up a better attempt than he has already put up. Oh, missing that first zipper, that might kind of put the nail in the coffin on the attempt. We'll see how this plays out. I don't think he's going to get to the 126. Yeah. So he will get a 120. He will finish out with a 129.01. So even the numbers being harsh there. And Ponytail hit a quad. So got a 25 lap and a 125. So a huge flat PV in a really big 3 lap. That's quite a lot of positions. So congrats on that quad. That was huge. And Tarzan picks Space Dust Alley car. Yeah, hitting a quad, you can see how much of how good of a lap that was. Like, the attempt wasn't amazing, and then he just hits that quad and completely salvages the attempt. So onto Space Dust car, very bonk heavy car track. but also quite intricate at the same time. So just to note, if Mr. Ponytail takes this track, then it is indeed match point, and Mr. Ponytail will get the better seating going into the lower bracket over Tarzan. It looks like he's having a pretty nice start. Opting to not go for that zipper, you can go for it. It is quite risky. Oh no, bonks from Tarzan. The terrain here, if you kind of bonk once, don't get yourself back on track, will kind of eat you alive, unfortunately.
Yeah, super weird ground geometry on this level.
Yeah. I mean, this track is technically made for playing, so like the rougher geometry can make a bit of sense. But they definitely also had really good design options when they design kind of philosophy when they made it for a hovering car.
Yeah, it was adapted pretty well.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, the strats that are possible here on the other vehicles are really cool. It's just hard to hit them consistently.
Exactly. I agree with that. So like, if you see someone getting a lot of air going out of one section, like we're very likely to and they can control the vehicle, they're gonna try and kind of bend their vehicle to things. And ouch, Tarzan, I guess, kind of had enough with the attempt, and he accidentally reset his attempt, so that doesn't lose anything. It just means that his attempt is a 3 minutes, would just go to 3 minutes. No. Yeah. Generally, it's just 3-0-0-0-0 for a reset attempt, because there's no tracks because if you do 2 minutes, there's a chance that the attempts could actually be like 2 minutes on this track. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. It's happened. We've seen very, very unfortunate times happen. I mean, you can just put like whatever. Total time doesn't matter too much, and I believe that I mean, it wasn't accidental reset. It wasn't. We learned it was accidental. If you do hit pause, it's not the end of the world. In these attempts, you are as long as like you're allowed to pause. You're allowed to unpause with a start. You just can't reset. Like if you reset, unfortunately, the run gets nullified. But otherwise, you can. Like I think as long as it's just like if you're like, oh, I accidentally paused, like pretty sure you can continue the attempt. But again, that's something that would come down to the rule book.
Yeah, hopefully.
So yeah,
we don't have to consult the rule book again. Had enough of that for one race.
Sure. I don't think we will. Ponytail has a really his last time was in the low 130s, like somewhere in the 130s. So let's see how this attempt plays out for him. He's definitely not going to get a time better than it. But this track just proving so harsh for everybody. Yeah. 140 from Mr. Ponytail. He had like about that's a 8-ish second difference in time. Yeah, he had a 132 to a 140. So we see just the variance in this track. 149, Tarzan gets full complete an attempt. Unfortunately, he now has one attempt to get a pretty big sizable PB over his to compete with the 132 that Ponytail got. Ponytail getting stuck there on lap 1. He should be pretty content to just be sitting on the 132. Obviously, like I like to see that he's playing it out, because technically he could just reset and just say I've probably won with my 132. But I definitely like that he's continuing out. And I would love to see a nice PB here from Tarzan. Oh, unfortunately, the hitboxes can be quite annoying on these on those parts of the turns. I've seen that be a constant struggle point in these attempts for Tarzan. Unfortunately, getting through the facading of the track.
The tunnel doors kind of.
Yeah.
Strange architecture here on Space Dust.
I mean, it's really nice texture to look at, but it's not fun to have to drive through.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Pony on his last lap, potentially of the match.
Yes, potentially. And if Tarzan can't finish out with a 132, which I'll be honest, it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be could be potentially tight if he has a nice finish out here, but I don't know. He's gonna pass the 132. Yeah, so yeah, that's unfortunately gonna be it for the race. Both players put in some good attempts, and MrPonytale has come out on top. We'll just wait for Tarzan to finish his last attempt. I had fun watching for sure. And both players, when they want, they can hop on in. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Not great, but all right.
Yeah, I was gonna say obviously GG's.
Yeah, GG's, man.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Mm-hmm. There were some really close maps. Even if the final times kind of look skewed, they were pretty tight for most of the attempts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would just love to hear, I guess, overall thoughts from the players. I'll start with Ponytale.
I was quite surprised by the fact that we actually tied on Fossil Canyon. I didn't think we'd ever see a tie.
Yeah, me neither.
But I'm glad I pulled that one out. I wasn't quite sure if I was going to win that one. I was surprised by my performance in a lot of the non-card tracks. I did practice a bit before the match. I actually managed to practice the correct tracks because Tarzan happened to pick a lot of the tracks that I practiced today.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my performance was pretty solid.
Yeah, for sure. And on your like kind of more signature tracks, you definitely performed well overall as well. So like the AO pick, you got so close. You got close to your PB. That was really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks that I accidentally erased my Ghostless memory pack again.
No.
Yeah. I don't know when I did. I'm gonna have to check back in the stream from when I did it. I forget when it happened.
I think on AL it happened either after I think it happened after like the second or first attempt. You accidentally hit the ghost save.
Darn.
I think I have no clue. You can just watch. You'll see it in the VOD if you watch it.
All right.
Yeah, I guess Tarzan, how you feeling? Overall.
I feel like I didn't play as good as I was, planning on. I did practice quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well. A lot of the picks that I did happen to want were things that I practiced. For the most part, hot top hover. I recently got a low 122.
Yeah.
And a low 25 flat.
Mm-hmm.
EP plane I thought could have went better. I mean, car I knew I was gonna get absolutely destroyed in, no questions asked. I wanted to try my best.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the tracks, it could have went better. A lot of weird mistakes that I don't normally see.
Yeah, I will say JF car was pretty close overall.
Oh yeah.
You had a good chance going into that third attempt. Honestly, that track is harsh. I both of you on that last attempt made the same mistake. Were you both?
Yeah, the pond jump, I was too far to the right.
Too far to the left on the pond. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
At least for me, it's so hard to play that track with a ghost because I'm used to there being 0 lag on it.
Yes.
So that's why I was getting 40s and 42s.
Yeah, I noticed that for sure.
I'm used to the ghost being there, and
Yeah.
flagless on that last zipper is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I guess overall, we that does finish up the matches for. I guess there's one match left, which is Giz versus Sweener.
Oh boy.
So that's going to be interesting. This match has a lot of implications for seeding, for the upper bracket. As both of these players are advancing, it's just a matter of whoever gets the higher, the more point, whoever wins it essentially. One person is going to be the 4 seed, and the other player. It depends on how the points are divvied up, but the seeding might change overall because neither player has lost a point. So we'll see. The person who wins will be in somewhere in the top 4, and the person who loses will be will be the 7th seeded player potentially, or even higher seeded. But yeah, obviously, I had a blast watching and commentating this match.
Yeah.
In general, I mean, I love this game, and this is all fun.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I guess we're gonna end pretty soon. If you guys have any last words, anything, I guess before we go to our raid.
I guess for me, congrats to Ponytale. That did kind of affect a little bit of the lower bracket.
Mhm.
Yep.
But I mean, I didn't really know what to expect, and I didn't really play up to my strengths. So there's that. But congrats anyway, and maybe we'll see each other again in the bracket.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, lower bracket's gonna be so fascinating. I'm very excited to see how it plays out because you've got Asbo. So far, we have Asbo, Andy Panther, Peegs, Morks, Dupe, and Brandino.
Yep.
In lower.
Sounds fun.
So, and then both of you will be slotting in. I'm not sure how the seeding is going to end up overall, but we'll see. Yeah.
So yeah, check back in tomorrow at 4 p.m. EST. I'm pretty sure for the match between Sweener and Giz, and I think we'll have an announcement after that. Thanks to the commentators for co-commentating, and GGs to the racers.
Yeah, thanks, guys.